Yo, what's up, guys? We are Chopped Anime, two of the almighty Chopped Anime. We're back to chop up another anime movie, One Piece Film Red. One Piece Film Red is a story set place on the island of music, Elgia, where Uta, the world's greatest diva, holds the first ever live concert and reveals herself to the public. The Straw Hat Pirates, Marines, and fans across the world gather to enjoy Uta'S voice, which has been described as otherworldly. However, the event begins with shocking revelation that Uta is the daughter of Shanks, and the movie goes on from there. Now, I'm going to move this on to Mayor to give his review of the movie before mine because he is a One Piece fan, reads the manga, watches the anime, all that stuff. He is caught up completely. So, Mayor, what was your opinion or review of the movie?
My non-spoiler review so far is that I think the movie is a musical masterpiece. Like the songs, it's I think her name is pronounced Ado. She does the music for it. She's the voice of Uta. If you want to listen to the good music, have some decent action, if you want to see Shanks actually do something for once, and I know recently in the manga he starts to do something, but if you want to see something beforehand, this is the movie to actually see him. You get to see his crew, and if you've seen the trailer, a bunch of other characters show up in there too. It's a typical One Piece movie where everybody's just there. They just come up with some reason to just be there. Just like in the last movie, you just had like random people like the warlords just show up. Everybody was just showing up to this big event. And so this is that type of thing too. You get to see Law, you get to see a bunch of other characters, Big Mom's crew. So definitely, if you like that, I would definitely check out the movie because this is the biggest One Piece movie that has come out so far. And Shanks is in it. So if you're a One Piece fan, definitely check it out. Now, I thought this movie was a little overhyped. They were definitely overhyping it as the biggest like One Piece movie. There wasn't anything crazy. It was typical as in like some of the older movies where there was some decent action. The plot was just okay. I think this movie was just hyped up just simply because of Shanks, right? The story I felt kind of fell off a little bit. I felt like Uda's motivation didn't really stick. At the beginning when they made her out to be the character that she is, it kind of pulled you in because there was a mystery behind it. But then when you finally got like the big reveals and stuff later on, I thought it fell through. The action was okay, but you got to wait until the end for it. So, I think in terms of One Piece movies, some of the other movies such as the last one or maybe even Z were better than this, in my opinion, where you got to see some action from one of Roger's crew or like an old admiral. So that's what I think. But yeah, the music top tier. I don't think any One Piece movie beats this in terms of music for sure.
So I share similar, me being a more lesser fan of One Piece. I just only watched, I think, the first 200 episodes recently. So I'm not all the way caught up. I thought the music was really good. Now, I wasn't expecting as much music, I'll be honest. I did not expect it to really be. It was a full blown musical. If you're not looking for a full blown musical, don't come to see this movie. But but the music actually they had some bangers on there. I'm not gonna lie. So it had good animation. It definitely showed their money in there. It definitely looked good. It looked very well, but it was definitely overhyped. Seeing all the reviews come out and the articles come out, how it's just a blockbuster banger and all this stuff. I think that really was carried by the fact that it was centered around Shanks, and like the whole marketing aspect of it was Shanks. The three lines behind the thing, red, all that stuff was behind Shanks, and Shanks really wasn't that big of a role in the movie. He comes in and he's great. You get to see Shanks. It's just that it was really a Uta film. It really was like a lot of her. So I'll give them kudos for creativity, because this guy, the creator of One Piece, man, I'll say this: to be 800 episodes in, 1,000 episodes in, and he still comes up with at least original ideas in this huge universe and all these new fruits and ability. It's special. I got to give him credit for that. So you get to see a lot of that. I can't speak on how exciting it is to see certain characters pop up, but I guess coming from Mayor, what he just said about that, that's kind of a typical One Piece thing. I guess it's not that crazy, but I thought that was cool how they were bringing in, pulling in characters that I haven't even been exposed to yet, but they were awesome. I'm not gonna lie. I'm excited to catch up in the show after seeing this movie, after seeing a lot of these characters' abilities. But overall, the movie, the big reveal and the big plot secrets and all that stuff about it, when everything comes together, it has plot holes in it, it has a lot of wrinkles. It's not a perfect film. Personally, not in my top 10 or favorite anime movies, but it was worth a watch, and I'm glad I at least got to see it at the end of the day.
Yeah, so moving on to the spoilers. I thought Uta just sucks.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
it hurt it so they made it sound like she was under the pretense that Shanks was evil and pirates are all evil because of
Mm,
that. Like the closest pirate to her essentially betrayed her and that's why she was doing all this. But then we find out that she already knew that she was the one that destroyed the village. And so I when we watched this movie, we were really trying to figure out what the psychology was behind Uta still carrying on with this. Like they kind of showed that okay, she had her fans and their fans wanted an escape. And maybe there was a lot of guilt that Uta had because when she found out that, oh, she was the one that got the village killed because she summoned the demon lord, and maybe Shanks hates her because of that, and Shanks left. Like, I want nothing to do with
mhm,
my daughter or whatever. So maybe all that guilt felt like she really had to overcorrect and do something grand to help the world
mhm,
or whatever, and that was her purpose. So I think like that kind of drove her maybe in that direction to do it, but it's still weird that she still like carried on with it. Like she chose not to leave the island at all to just check out what was out there. Like she didn't want to like reason with it a little bit more.
mhm,
Her other foster dad, she didn't really try to talk. Like this character, I think just felt a little flat, and the whole movie was about her, which I think definitely decreased some points there for me. Like if it was a
mhm,
little bit more about Shanks, then yeah, this movie would have definitely been better, or if she had a better motivation. But yeah, I think Uta is going to be forgettable. We don't. It wasn't clear if she was actually dead or not, but apparently there was a casket
mhm,
in the final scene, so maybe she is dead. Um, I mean, in terms of the One Piece story, I'm sure she's dead. She's not.
mhm.
She's not coming back. She's not going to come back into the canon space to be relevant. So she's basically movie only.
I think it's best that she dies,
Yeah.
and because when I was watching the movie, I was like, why would they make such a lovable character daughter such a hate? Like, there was not one redeeming quality about her.
Right.
Like, besides the singing, I mean, but who cares about that? You're a main character. Like,
Yeah.
she was when you find out, like Mary said, when you find out that she knew that she actually caused the issues, then all excuses went out the window. Now you're just being stubborn. You're digging your heels in deeper to a cause that you said, oh, people wanted to see and hear you sing. That you can't destroy the world because of that. Like that's that's not a good reason for that.
She wanted to
So
make the world a better place. But then she
right,
summoned the demon lord. Why'd she even do that?
exactly.
Because they were
That,
trying to stop her plan. I mean, I don't know.
that's what
Maybe
I'm
there
saying.
was influence or
It
something from
seems like
there.
it was more of a prideful thing, more than you actually wanted to save the world. Like you
Yeah.
summoning the Demon Lord had nothing to do with saving the world. You were trying,
Right.
so you were harming, and then yeah, she was just pride throughout the whole time. When people, it was kind of funny when it got to the point where everybody was like, "Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. All right, we don't want to be here no more. It's time to go home."
Yeah,
Somebody,
yeah, yeah.
they started yelling
I mean,
at
I
her.
knew as soon as she said at the beginning, like, this concert's gonna go forever. Right. I was like, I don't think people are gonna like this. So this is like major cult leader vibes right here.
Right. So yeah, she was a little annoying at the end of the day. So that kind of made the movie unbearable to a certain point where because you even though the songs were fire, I was getting upset that she kept singing, cuz I'm like, "Bro, you stink. Like as a person, you suck." Like I don't want to hear like imagine if the main villain imagine if in Naruto Madara just kept breaking out musical numbers like bro you are killing people we don't want to hear you sing so it's like it was hard to watch because of that like so yeah it was very Uta centered and like I said Shanks had some fire parts at the end it was
Yeah.
cool to see I'm so early in the anime that I'd never seen Shanks do anything special. I saw the beginning with I saw his crew and he captivated me in the beginning in the first arc, but that's all I got to see. So yeah, yeah, a lot of plot holes in there. I hope she is dead. I think after this movie, I don't know, One Piece fans seems a little you guys seem a little biased. I'm not gonna lie. So if we're being real with themselves, if Oda gets some actual criticism of the movie, I think he's gonna move forward with her not coming back to play any role that we care about in this show. She's not a likable character. Even the good sides of her weren't really. Who cares? So yeah,
Yeah.
you know.
I think the fact that she existed is canon, but she's not coming back to the story. I'm pretty sure that's for sure.
Mhm.
In terms of Shanks, he did what he did was very typical of Shanks's actions, right? He
Mhm.
shows up, does something badass, and just dips.
Okay.
That's what he does every single time in the manga.
Okay.
So it's just a very brief moment. So that's essentially he did a little bit more. I mean, you got to see a little bit of his crew.
Hmm.
Um, so that's interesting. You know, Ben Beckman did the same thing Ben Beckman always does. He just points a gun at somebody and they get scared. Which we gotta start seeing Ben Beckman do more, but we got to see him use some hockey, so that was interesting.
Bro, when
So
they showed the intimidation of
the hockey, yeah,
Shanks hockey, I was like, oh, this is real. Like there's something everybody started taking knees, you know, bowing, like, all right, we don't want no problems, bro. He threatened the whole universe. Said, if y'all got a problem with me and my daughter, it's gonna mean the death of all y'all. Then he did his little hockey. Then everybody said, you know what? You go ahead with that. You know, you be good over
yeah.
here.
Also, the other thing is that the timeline was very messed up. So this had to have been after the Big Mom arc. That's for sure because we got to see like the whole Katakuri stuff that already happened, and then this also has to be after Kaido, the Kaido arc, because Jinbei is with them. He doesn't join until later on, and also the manga specific thing that happened in this happened in the movie also happens in the Kaido arc. So the timeline is definitely messed up here. It doesn't make sense, but I think for these type of movies, the events aren't canon. It's just the underlying like characters and stuff might be canon. So you just got to ignore that
Mm.
timeline.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, same thing happened in the new Dragon Ball movie where
Right.
Broly, they know Broly and they know Jiren. Like that wouldn't make sense technically. How would the tournament of power happen after like because when he met
Yeah, yeah.
Broly, he didn't know Ultra Instinct and all that stuff,
Right.
but he knows Broly now and he knows Jiren. You know, it just wouldn't have added up. So yeah. Anime movies just they don't care sometimes because they're not canon, so I guess they can break the rules. So
Right, right. Yeah.
so that's our review of the film One Piece Red. Ratings. Uh Out of 10, I will give it a 6 out of 10.
Ooh, that's tough. You know, I think I'm gonna give it a 7.5.
Okay.
I'll give it that because the music, the visuals, that kind of bumped it up a little bit for me, but surely the main character in the story fell flat.
Okay. So there you have it, guys. That's our review of One Piece Red, the film, from a manga reader and from a non-manga reader. That is it. And we are, please subscribe to our channel. We appreciate all the support. We are Chopped Anime.